Let's go. The title of this video is gonna be named Why I Came Back to Mexico after 15 years in the US. Now let me start with this. The real reason why I came back here obviously is because I am Mexican and because I went more than 15 years without seeing my family, my mother, my brother, my sister. I'm actually at my sister's house right now. And it took me a long time, to actually come back, But I'm grateful and I'm thankful because I'm able to be here now with my family. I never really, I never really invested any money over there other than eating and buying clothes and stuff like that. But most of my money I invested it here in Mexico because I always knew that I was gonna come back because I didn't have family over there. So obviously I have, my properties here and everything, and my family also, because it's really, really tough to live in a different country where you don't have your family. And I mean, obviously, when I got there, when I was younger, I was around 14 years old, 15 years old when I got there. And it was a whole different, it was an adventure for me. That was the reason why I went up there, because I had my dad over there and I went like so many years without seeing my father, before I moved there. And I thought, the opportunity came, and I thought, there is a chance for me to go there because my my uncles were moving over there. We're going over there at the time, back in 2007. And so obviously I moved there, and as a kid, I still was a kid, 14, 15 years old, you're a kid. I didn't even finish high school. But I moved there because I wanted to see my dad, because, I think as a man, you need a role model. And I feel like if your dad is not around you, you kinda need that, you kinda crave that, guidance from from your dad. Or even though my dad wasn't there with my mom, I still used to go to work with my uncles and stuff like that, because I needed that. So when the chance came, the opportunity came, I took it. I moved to New Jersey, where my dad was living at. As a young man, obviously as a kid, 14, 15 years old, it was tough because as soon as I got there, of course everything was different. The language was different. I didn't speak English back then. My main language obviously is Spanish, and it was, it was fun at first, because it was like it was an adventure for me. Oh, this is different. This is, this is nice. And I got to see my dad, obviously, but then, like I said, after that, it was all about work. I did work back in Mexico, but it wasn't like over there, that you have to work every day, because that's how you pay rent, that's how you survive. And I'm okay with that. But I was a kid, so at the time my dad or some other older people will tell me like, oh, it's they will tell me, you should start saving money. You should start like working on your future. You should start building a house and all this. And I'm like, yo, I'm 15 years old. Like, I don't want to like, I don't want to have that mentality yet, you know. And you know, obviously, the first thing I started doing over there was, you know, working. Of course, you know, I used to work at a factory where I used to work from 7 a.m. to like 8 or 9 p.m. At the time, I was like, yo, like I didn't care. I guess, you know, I was with my dad and all that. But my thing is, I got there, you know, and everybody, you know, that's the mentality over there. Oh, you have a house, you need another one. Do you have a nice car? You need a newer car. And it's always upgrading, upgrading, upgrading. So basically, it never ends, you know. So the first thing I did was learn the language. You know, that was the main thing for me. I said, like, you know what, I need to learn English because, you know, everybody speaks English here. You know what I mean? So, you know, I worked in that factory for like a year. Obviously, didn't learn English there. And I moved to Indiana. That's when I started learning English, you know, because I started working with more American people and everything. And my English got better, you know. And, you know, it took me a couple years, but I was so like involved. Like, I submerged myself into the culture. You know, I was listening to music every day, reading books about, you know, the language and everything, learning English, you know, and practicing with people, you know, at my job, you know, at a restaurant. So I would say, you know, that helped me a lot to learn the language. That helped me a lot to start understanding the culture. But what I'm really gonna say is I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I'm back in my country, and I thank God for that. You know, foremost, that's why I'm here, because the Lord allowed me to come back, because I have so many stories, you know. But I pray and I, you know, thank God for this adventure. Like, I went like 15 years without seeing my family. Now I'm back. Obviously, things have changed down here in Mexico, and I'm ready. I'm ready to start exploring around the country. So far, everything is going well, and I'm enjoying my family, and I thank God for that.